Okay, so I'm going to continue on with chest. I'm going to do one more set, and I'm going to call chest. Call it. Chest is going to be done. And I did 2 sets on the pendulum chest press. Bear witness to that. I did 1 set on the David, and now I'm going to do 1 set on this flex, leverage, converging, incline chest press. Now, this piece is a tremendous piece. I really like this piece. I sought after this piece for a long time. Finally, it came my way, and I took it. But it's beautiful, beautiful. I think as far as the flex leverage line, their flex 90-degree upright chest press and their flex incline leverage chest press is 2 of the finest leverage line pieces ever made. Now, what's very vital about the flex leverage line as far as the upright and this incline I'm in is that it's a converging chest press, and I really love converging chest press. I at least try to incorporate at least 1 movement into my chest training using a converging chest press. And what the converging means is you're going to start out wide, and as you push through the positive into the static, the arms themselves are going to converge. They're going to move in, and they're going to cause more of a peak contraction. Now, you're never going to see me do flies. You're never going to see me do an isolation movement or flies. Occasionally, I may do a set of machine flies at the end of my chest workout, but it is not the long-handled rear delt pec deck machine flies, chest flies. I use the pec deck if I do, where it's a total isolation, but you're never going to usually never see me. So on this set here, as far as converging chest presses go, this almost mimics a fly-like movement. You're starting out wide, and then you're coming in, you're converging for a final contraction. That's all that a fly does. But you got to ask yourself, after all these sets that you're witnessing me doing, and the intensity level that I generated in doing all these different sets for chest, what could a fly movement do? What could a fly movement possibly do to push that ripple effect further and stimulate that muscle more for hypertrophy? It couldn't. It just couldn't do it. I just can't see it. I can't fathom it. I can't even understand how that could happen whatsoever. So I grab a set of 60-pound dumbbells and I do a set of flies, and that's going to push the muscle further into damage than what I just did in all these 4 compound movements? No. So if you want to do a fly, or you feel the necessity to do a fly, find a converging chest press in your gym. A converging chest press, you can just close your eyes when you're in that chest press machine, and you can envision that you have dumbbells in your hand, and then you're doing flies. Only the difference is it's a compound movement, and you're going to be using a tremendously more amount of resistance. Instead of doing those flies, find yourself a converging chest press. That's exactly what you want to do. It's going to be tremendously more beneficial for you than those flies ever could be. If you're in a pre-contest mode and say I'm training you, then I may incorporate some sort of cable flies in, because cable flies are going to promote a more constant tension, and that's just to maybe perhaps bring out more striation and more detail on your chest. But as far as looking for hypertrophy or growth for your chest and flies, just forget it. And flies also pull in your interior, it helps a lot. The flies are fun to do. You get pumped, you get up, you get flexed, and you look good, but they're not doing anything, in my opinion, as far as generating hypertrophy any further than compound movements. And again, you find the converging chest press, you can almost close your eyes and you see yourself doing a fly, but it's much more resistance, you're going to capitalize on more hypertrophy, more growth. Flies, I don't recommend you do whatsoever. It's my opinion. I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but those are the facts. And if you know you don't got to do flies, I'm only going to do 4 sets for chest, and look at that, I'm totally hammered. Okay, on this machine, I got a considerable amount of weight. I already preset the seat, I preset the arms adjust on this, the seat adjust on this. Perfect, beautiful, beautiful machine, anybody can use it. I get 3 45s on each side, that's a tremendous amount of weight on this machine. And I'm going to go back to following first law now. What I want is a minimum of 4 repetitions on this. I'm guesstimating at the amount of weight that I can drop in at 4 repetition. The last time I did this machine, I had 2 45s and 25 on. It was considerably hard for me. I feel pretty powerful today. My weight is up to 253 as I'm dressed. It gives me a lot more leverage. That's almost in the zone of the heaviest I've ever been. I've had to cut my elbow supports here to get them on. They were too painful, so I more or less had to ruin them, but I do want to protect my elbows a little bit. Sometimes they ache from years of French pressing, which sucks. So let's get to this machine. I'm going to wrap up my chest. I'm going to max as many reps as I can on this, at least 4. I hope I can get 4. But this is 6-pack on here. And again, flex leverage, converging. And you'll see as I come up, the arms are going to move. And see, I can close my eyes all. I got heavy dumbbells, 140-pound dumbbell flies right here. And when I come up, I'm going to close in, and it's going to give me much more muscular damage than any dumbbell fly could ever do. Keep that in mind. Knock off the flies. Get in the converging chest press. You'll thank me later. Your chest will thank you later. That was beautiful, that was perfect. I dropped right in at 4, I was at failure. Could not get 5, could not get 5. Superb guess on my end on what I needed to do to hit failure. Now, do you think a set of flies could do more damage than what that just did? Come on, no. You have to understand, when you do something lesser than your last set, that's why we're doing major variable changes here. Different machines, different patterns, you know, rest pauses, time under tension, rep range mixed up. Each set's got to stand on its own merit. It is outperforming the last set. So a set of flies, 60-pound set of flies, is not going to force the contraction or the ripple in any further than what you just seen being maximized on these 3 machines. It just can't. So I did 4 sets for chest. I'm done. Loved it. And when you know you're only going to do 4 sets for chest, you can do exactly what I did. I gave it my all. I gave it my all. If I did 20 sets for chest, come on, that's hard work, but that's just stupidity. All right, it really is. Until I learned that, how to train high intensity, low volume, and knock off all the frivolous exercises, I never really grew. Now I thought I was the bomb because, you know, I had some muscularity to me and I was competing at city levels. But I was the firecracker, I really wasn't the bomb. Until I learned how to incorporate high intensity, low volume training, and from the age of 47 to 52, I put on 35 pounds. I'm not kidding you, that's at a point in time when a man shouldn't put on any more muscle. Now, I've been competing in the 80s, 90s, into the 20th century, 21st century. And nothing has changed. Nothing has changed but the way in which I train. Everything's been around for me in the 80s and the 90s and on. It's only the way I was able to conceptualize and train that changed. And once that changed, I just started putting on the weight again. It was just unbelievable. So try to learn it, that low volume, high intensity is really the way to go. And you're gonna thank me.